Dream 3 podcast back in your life for episode 23. We're calling this one's playoffs because it is wild card weekend in the NFL, and my Colts still didn't make the playoffs thanks for them losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm glad we
Something
didn't.
I told you all year long, Carson Wentz was going to kill you.
I'm so glad that we did not have a podcast last week because I was on.
That reminds me. Do you remember what we said at the beginning of last year about what your Colts record would be?
I'll have to look back to confirm it. Actually,
I'm pretty sure you said you would get 10 wins. Did you get 10 wins?
We did not get 10 wins.
Huh, weird.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Dak Prescott was an MVP contender at some point.
We'll get into that here in a little bit. But as always, we've got to thank our sponsors, Slab Saver. Go to protectyourslabs.com. Always get a good case to hold your good stuff in. So use code DREAM3 to get 10% off your order. Graded Card Solutions. Go to gradedship.com. If you use code DREAM15, you're going to get 15% off your order because you always want to ship your cards safe. And finally, if you're sick of eBay fees, go check out Prospect Cards. That's www.prospect.cards. If you use code DREAM3, you'll get a 0% seller's fee for the first 2 months. And then after that, it goes up to like 2%. And finally, Nation Golf. Join the fellowship. If you like old school golf type polos and clothing, check out nationgolfcompany.com. But back to it. Yeah, my Colts got eliminated very early. All they had to do was win and get in against the 2-14 Jacksonville Jaguars. Carson Wentz laid an egg, couldn't get it done. Everybody in Indianapolis wants his head.
I told you it wasn't the answer. I told you a washed-up Phillip Rivers was better than Carson Wentz.
He's absolutely not the answer, but here's the problem is, where do you go to next? You ain't going to find another good veteran.
What pick do you guys have?
The second round. We traded a first-round pick for Carson.
Oh my God. See, this is what I tried to tell you guys. You guys ruined yourself. You guys are trying to play the LA Rams and just sell all your draft picks for players who just turn out to be average.
They just tried to like band-aid the situation over and over, and it doesn't work. Like, you tried to do the band-aid with Phillip Rivers, and then you knew he wasn't going to play for super long.
He almost got you a win in Buffalo.
True. But, as much as I didn't really like Phillip Rivers' throwing motion, he's way better than Carson Wentz, like decision-making wise.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, so it's rough. It's going to be interesting to see the changes that happened this offseason of what changes there are. Because if you listen to the press conference from Reich and from Ballard, like they also didn't seem too happy. So we'll see if anything actually gets done this offseason. One thing I did want to mention starting off this podcast is, hey, we are on Google Podcasts now and Apple Podcasts, and we are almost to our 500th download. So thank you to everybody who found us all of a sudden. And it was great to log on and see that we had 360 something downloads in 2 weeks. So cool that the podcast is taking off. We're just talking about sports cards, everything we love. I did celebrate a birthday yesterday, so thank you, Andrew, for...
That's right. Happy 31st.
31st birthday. Becoming an old man, I think. I don't know. You don't know what that's like yet, so...
I'm not there yet. My birthday's next month. I'll be 28.
Not there yet, but let's jump into the hobby. So Golden Auctions had, some nice stuff come off the auction block.
So Leparo had half of his stuff in that auction.
And Leparo's got some big time heavy hitters. So Neil, I'm sure you got the breakdown. What was some of the biggest cards that we saw coming off the Golden Auction block this week? And if you have them, kind of what are the prices that we were looking at?
So I will say one that kind of stands out to me is, so I was looking, there hasn't been a Topps Chrome Gold refractor of LeBron for sale, I think, in 3+ years.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first one, and it was a 9.5 grade. And I'm pretty sure it did $900,000, which I thought personally was just slightly under what I thought it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have been $1 million card just because we're talking about the best card you can get for LeBron, and it's a 9.5. So, but I think that's a good sale for his market right now. I think long term, LeBron's got some career accomplishments that I think are going to warrant, some bumps and just some general progression. But I think overall, like, LeBron is playing really well, but the Lakers suck.
The Lakers are terrible, and that's why I
He
believe
is
they're
literally carrying the team like the 27 Cavaliers, where he played with literal garbage cans out there.
I mean, you look at it, like Russell Westbrook's not doing nothing. Like they're trying to figure a way. I bet if they could trade back for Anthony Caruso, they would.
Yeah. That's the thing, is they have like $40 million contracts. So I'm pretty sure in the luxury tax they're like 30 million over in the luxury tax. So they're just, I mean, they're just sending gobs of money out on these players, and it's not working for them. I think Russell could have been good and bad, but clearly right now it's just bad. He needs to stop shooting. He just needs to stop shooting. Just stop.
Yeah, just stop. Give the ball to LeBron. Do what you should be doing. But yeah, so we had a LeBron gold refractor going for 900,000.
There was a exquisite RPA LeBron. There's a Mickey Mantle 7. There was I'm pretty sure there was a game used Tom Brady jersey from the Bucks that was inscribed.
I saw that. It went for
440,000, I think.
440,000. So it was a Buccaneers jersey.
Bucks jersey. It's got some inscriptions on it. It was game used. It's, I mean, I understand why it goes for that much.
Oh, for sure.
And from the memorabilia aspect, like, stuff just kind of, memorabilia is just a way different market than cards.
Yes.
So I don't know. The one that I will bring up that I bid on personally, and didn't win, was the 2004 Topps Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady patch. They're numbered out of 99, and they have a the patch is game used from the Super Bowl, autographed by Tom Brady. It was a PSA 8, which I think was like a pop 9 or something like that. There's just not a lot of them out there. There's 99. But for an early auto, I thought it was a really good card. It's one that I've wanted for a long time. Like, for a year, I missed it. I thought bidding $26,000 and expecting a buyer's premium, like put it at like 31 or 32,000, I was fine with that. But it ended up going for like 37 with the buyer's premium. So I ended up picking up one from another guy on Instagram that I'd been talking to for probably close to 2 months because I wanted his. But so I ended up closing that deal once that sale happened and just bought it.
It's a very nice card. If anybody hasn't seen it, go check out Neil's Instagram, Doughboy Sports Cards 1.
Yeah,
it's a very, very nice Tom Brady card.
And then someone posted today in one of the Tom Brady groups an 02, which is the game used Super Bowl patch from his first Super Bowl against the Rams. That's the one I really want. But those are super expensive.
I bet.
I think he was getting like 65,000 cash offers and like 80K in trade. I couldn't get there yet. So
another card that I saw that ended at Golden Auction that I was kind of surprised on was a Cristiano Ronaldo sticker PSA 10. So this is a rookie sticker from 2002. It's a Portugal sticker. The sticker itself, so it's PSA 10, 62,000.
Seems vastly just underrated for being
a rookie Cristiano Ronaldo. And we've been talking about the last couple years, or not years, but the last couple episodes. It's not. So he's in a Sporting Portugal jersey. So it's not like the World Cup stuff, but it says Portugal on it. So to me, that in a World Cup year still drives the value up with the word of the country that he represents.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think soccer right now is definitely undervalued.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just from the timing. There's really not a lot going on in soccer.
There's
But
not.
it's going to start heating up in the next 2-3 months.
And I'll
So,
be completely honest with you. I've been deep into soccer buying right now, especially thanks to Josh, being on our last podcast and us really getting involved with soccer. I've made some nice soccer moves, some stuff that I'll post this week once I get it. I was at the Indy Card Show this not this weekend, but this past weekend, and was kind of just looking around, not really looking for anything particular, but I came across this, and Josh was looking at this too, and I texted you about this. Manukoko, he's a rookie. He plays in Germany for BVB, and I saw it, and it's 6 out of 10. So get a low number card that's gold in UEFA Champions League, even though it's a top stadium club chrome card. I still think, rookie cards in soccer, for some reason, I think it's more of the international play, bring way, not, I don't want to say overvalued, but you look at some of the soccer cards that you can find of anyone. I think it's because the pop is so low. You could put the prices as high as you want.
Yeah. So so I owned some Mbappe and I sold because I needed money for the nationals, or the national. But I had some Mbappe, way back in I think I bought in February last year, and then kind of rode that through the Champions League. Where is? I can't find it. Anyways, so I bought some Mbappe, but I think the pop reports on those are for the actual refractors are still right around 150. And for a PSA 9 or a PSA 10.
And I was looking at the PSA 9 refractors. The prices still aren't bad. It's like $1,400 for a PSA 9.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really good because if
they were pushing $3K at one point.
Yeah, and even though I didn't buy into the refractor, I bought back my 9 that I normally had. At High Point they were $650. I bought mine for $600. So soccer's very undervalued. We keep saying that. Soccer and hockey, I believe, are both very undervalued.
I think hockey is catching on though. I see a lot of people buying hockey and selling hockey right now. So I think the market is really strong.
Is it buying everybody in hockey, or is it buying mostly Ovi and Sydney and Connor
Ovi, Sydney, Gretzky, and McDavid?
Mm-hmm.
Now I think they're if you want to prospect hockey, there's some other players that are definitely worth buying.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I only buy the people who play for the Avalanche. So I buy McKinnon cards because that's my guy. So I have an RPA out of McKinnon, the NT RPA. I didn't pull one, but I opened that case last year, and I'm a McKinnon guy. So that's just me.
So it's speaking of soccer real quick, and I'm just kind of scrolling through Twitter, but I'm reading that BVB's kind of put in some pressure on Holland to, maybe he wants to join another squad.
I think so, but I think it's going to come down to a couple things. So one, Dortmund is a really good program at what Josh mentioned, at bringing guys up and then selling them off.
Yes.
So Holland obviously has turned into this massive superstar, so he's worth the money. So he's going to sell. So they're going to transfer him to a higher end team
where they can get €100 million or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to probably be. Yeah, it's going to be massive. His contract's his transfer fee and buyout fee is going to be massive.
Which actually, I found a website, a soccer website that I was using. Go ahead.
I think Dortmund didn't make Champions League this year, which makes it more enticing for them to move him because he's not playing. They're not playing in the Champions League for a title. So I can definitely see why they want to move him. Whether or not that happens, I don't know.
So for soccer, so this would be good for soccer cards and for people who enjoy soccer. So I found this website. It's called transfermarket.us, and you can look up all the soccer players, kind of see where they're ranked on their team in the world, in their country, and then like it'll tell you how playing their points, playing time, how much they average being in the starting 11. So looking at Holland right now, so when he transferred from Red Bull Salzburg to Dortmund, it was $22 million transfer fee.
Yeah.
As of right now,
what is it, 180 million euros?
165.
I think that's low. I wouldn't be surprised if someone pays 180 million.
But his stock has only come up, slowly. In February of 2020, he was worth 66.
Yeah.
So, over 2 years, he's gained a lot of traction. But, he's ranked number 9 player in the world right now.
Really? They have him number 9?
I believe so. Yeah, number 9.
I guess I can see that, where if you put like Mbappe, you put...
Mbappe's number 1.
De Bruyne is probably up there. Lewandowski's probably up there.
So you got to think, especially if you're thinking cards, soccer and hockey might be your markets right now. It's really tough to get in. You have baseball, especially with,
if you think they're gonna play this year or not.
I mean, my thing is they're going to play eventually.
They will. It's just whether or not they're going to play in June or they're going to play in March.
But either way, let's say they don't play this year at all. Think about how cheap you could get some of the Tatises, the Acuñas.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if they don't play at all, then maybe the buying opportunities when they don't play.
Mm-hmm,
but I guess the point is, like, if they're constantly in contract negotiations, that kind of makes you like amped in the fact that like the next day they could be ready to play.
If there would be a little bit of talk, because you don't really hear about it unless it's some news articles here or there. But if you would hear some discussions like you hear about the NFL and the NFLPA when there was close to being the lockout,
that's because they make more money than anybody.
What? Well, the baseball.
NFL?
No, baseball makes way more money than NFL players.
In revenue?
Oh, you're talking about in revenue. I thought you meant player-wise. In revenue,
it's not even close.
It's not even close, for sure.
That's why I'm saying, like, they'll put NFL over anybody, and then they'll put the NBA right afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, they're number 3, maybe falling to number 4, number 5.
Yeah, I mean, soccer's moving, hockey's there. Hockey got the contract with ESPN,
which is good.
Baseball's a dying sport. I mean,
it is.
What else do you have to say?
I agree. I totally agree with all that. So let's see. Anything else? I'm scrolling through Golden right now, and they got a lot. Like they have they got a lot of stuff coming up.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I bid on that top Super Bowl, the last sale like a month or two ago was at 18,000 for like an 8.5, and then all of a sudden this one goes for 31, and then add the buyer's premium, so 37. So it for a lower grade it jumped $20,000, so it doubled in price for a card in a lower grade. And I understand we're in the NFL playoffs now, but like it was just hard to fathom a little bit. But I mean, maybe it's getting the recognition it deserves. The point is, there was a lot of stuff on Golden that went way over probably what it should have been. Like a green Prism Giannis went for $43,000, and I believe the last sale on it for PSA 10, and the last sale on it was like 20,000. And then a high-end collector who buys a lot, his name's Adam Brown, had his BGS 10 for sale for $45,000 the next day, and nobody bought it. So it's kind of like, why did that go for so high? when the only sale before that was 20,000. And Giannis isn't. It's not like he's throwing together 50-point games every night.
Yeah.
They're the 3 seed or the 4 seed in the conference.
So
it doesn't make sense.
And since I'm not a ginormous bidder on Golden, are there any measures in place to make sure there's no shill bidding going on?
I mean, every bid is, I mean, you have to be approved to be a bidder.
And does it has to be in a bank account, correct?
No. You just have to show proof that you can bid that much.
Okay.
So in theory, you could show your bank account and it say $40,000 and then bid for $40,000 worth of stuff. You just have to ask for the credit increase.
Okay.
But like there were numerous cards that just went way above what they typically are going for. Like there was a Silver Prism Giannis that went for like 30 grand. And then in the same auction, there was a silver Giannis. It was same PSA 10, but it was with a whole set that went for 24. And it was the whole set of 2012, 13, 14, all the way up to 2021 or whatever. So it just doesn't make sense why some cards went super, super high when they shouldn't have. I don't know. I don't want to say there's like shilling going on, but there was definitely just some like doesn't make sense numbers.
It's kind of like if you look at the on eBay, the Probstein auctions, you look at those and right at the very end, there's always a ton of bids where things get, bid out of whack. And I think it came to find out that there was shill bidding going on. So that's one thing you got to like when you're in the hobby and buying cards online and in auctions, you have to be very, very cautious of every time you do business. Yeah. And we'll jump into that here in a second of why,
like,
especially
don't overbid when you know there's one on sale at eBay the next day for 25,000 when the card just went for 40.
And that's the biggest thing with I try to tell newer people into the hobby, kind of like Josh, is it's all about patience. Just because you find one here and you really, really want this one, you might find it for 10, 15 lower the next day or the next week. Take your time, let it become a process.
I will say, so we know Alex, we had him on Robbie's cards. He's a big Tiger collector. Right now there's a lot of Tiger hype, but we just encourage him to stay patient because he wants a 9.5, but some just aren't available, or people are asking too much, or there's this artificial inflation in prices. Just wait till it dies down. If there's this massive influx of people surge to rush to buy something, don't buy into it. Wait, because you're gonna pay for it if you try to do that.
There's always peaks and valleys, and the worst thing you can do is buy at peak hype. Because if you buy at peak hype, like I did with Mbappe, you're paying $600 for something that's you could get for $140.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I ate a bunch of money when I held Mbappe too long, hoping that he'd win the Champions League, and they got ousted. It killed me.
Speaking of Robbie's, I found a Tiger Woods auto. Now here's my issue. The card is it's out of 10. It is an auto 9, a card 8. The guy wants $1,700 for it.
Here's my thing with Tiger Woods autos, and me and Alex, we talk about this all the time. Tiger Woods has the most beautifully constructed autograph along the lines of Mariano Rivera, Ken Griffey Jr. Their autographs are very great. But
Jerome Bettis.
But the thing with Tigers is he is so meticulously ink heavy that if you get a bad auto of Tiger, it really just kind of degrades the card. From a person who collects some Tiger stuff, you really want the intentional deep deep color in the auto, which he's
it's
very good at.
mm,
So that's why if you get a 9 auto, there's got to be something up with it, whether it's the bubbling in the ink or like a smudge or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Just watch out for
It's
that.
like it's like centering on OPG cards, like the Gretzky, like to a true collector. Little things like that matter, whether
Yeah.
it be how they sign it or the cut of the card, whether it be a 4 or 5.
Yep.
You know, we've seen 7s that are pretty bad off center, but
Yeah.
a 4 has better centering. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there are different things that different collectors look for.
Yeah. Like the example I'll give you is like with me and my game used patch autos,
Hmm.
I only buy patches that have like multicolor. So there's blue, red, gray, and there's even a hint of white in the corner. But the other thing I look at is I try to make sure that the auto is full. Like I don't want a smudgy auto or one that's
Great.
got some
Yeah.
streaking
Yeah.
because it just makes it look bad. And maybe that's
Yes.
just the collector in me, but like I saw today, like someone had a Joe Burrow select out of 5 and the auto wasn't even full. Like the B, he missed the B. Like half the B is gone. And BGS gave him a 10 auto. And I'm like, how is someone with a streak on their auto getting an 8 or a 9, but this guy's missing half the letter in his autograph and he gets a 10? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
So like this goes back to like buy the card, don't buy the grade because the
Exactly.
grades don't matter.
Exactly. The grades do not matter because you see people every day, you know, cracking seals and regrading. And
Speaking of, tell us about PSA.
so PSA, the new price.
Yeah, tell them about this new auto thing that's going on. Tell
Okay,
them this crap.
So PSA announced today that, and you know, it's always been included. I believe you could grade the card, and the auto grade would come with it if you so choose.
Yeah, it's like a $2 upcharge
Mm-hmm.
or
Now,
$20 upcharge or something. I don't know.
so now PSA came out today and said if you want the auto grade to go along with the card grade, so you have your Joe Burrow select PSA 10, and let's say he autographed it, and you want them to grade the autograph also, so you could have a double 10. Now you have to pay a 20% upcharge on that card or any card that you want the auto grade on top of the card grade. I can tell right away this sits really bad with you, Neil. So I'll let you kind of like.
So just imagine you have a Tom Brady, a contender's Tom Brady in a PSA 6. You get the auto grade, and it's if it basically in a contender's auto of Tom Brady, if it's above an 8, you're looking at plus money because people like the autos. If
Mhm.
you get a 10, that's a double boost, you know. So basically, PSA is saying, okay, well, a PSA 6 goes for $45,000. So we're going to charge you $9,000, a 20% upgrade fee, just because you got a 10 auto on it. So now your card that you paid $45,000 for, you have to pay another $9,000. That's what you're saying? You have to pay $9,000 on that just because someone slapped a 10 on it?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's so stupid.
It is. It is.
This is
So
why PSA is literally ruining some of their reputation and some of their what's the word I'm looking for? Like high importance because they're greedy. They want
yeah,
money.
but and I think that's because of that. You know, I think SGC has closed the gap between PSA and BGS because SGC, they're grading cards. It's good turnaround time,
Mhm.
even though they're
They're
backed
good
up
in vintage
also.
too.
They're good at they can do it all. And, there's just this hype built behind PSA. And now PSA believes they control the market so they can make their prices whatever they want.
Yep.
Even though, I believe the express prices have gone down to 100, or I think they're going to go down to 50 here soon. But you add a 20% upcharge for anything that you want an auto grade on. Why would I want to, spend another X amount of dollars to get the auto grade? Now I'm just thinking about sending it to BGS.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Well, yeah, I mean, this is the dilemma is like SGC has closed the gap on BGS to the point where it's like it's almost irrelevant to even use BGS anymore, unless you're like trying to bump PSA to BGS, just because some people prefer it. But like, if I have a Joe Burrow, whatever RPA, maybe I send it to SGC over PSA now, or if I have a Joe Burrow Prism auto, maybe I do send it to SGC, just because I don't want to pay $9,000 for an upgrade on an auto.
And I'm going to get it back in 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, you're going to get it back in. You're going to get back in less than a month, and in PSA, it's going to sit there for 6 months.
I'm going to pay. Yeah, I'm going to pay $30 to send the card off, get it graded, and have it back in less than a month. Where PSA, I'm going to spend a minimum of $100, and then if I want the auto grade plus my 20%, then wait a year. At least.
Joe Burrow could have lost his leg in a tragic accident or a tragic injury on the field.
And you see that all the time on YouTube, guys who are just now getting PSA orders back and like, wow, I wish I had this
15 months,
card.
16 months.
And best thing I can, speak on is the basketball craze that we went through during the lockdown. And, Kobe White cards. I had like 7 or 8 PSA 10 Kobe White cards that I was selling for $150, $160. A PSA 10 right now is $15.
And you paid what, $25 or more to have them graded?
They were $15 a card, sending them to
for the, what is it, bulk, and then $20 for standard or economy.
Well, I would always ship through either Clay or Ryan, so it was
no, that's what I'm saying. It was like $15 for bulk,
and $15 for bulk, and like $20 for
economy, which was like a 20-day, the old 20-day or something.
Yeah, which is whatever. But now, like SGC, I'll pay $28, $29 to Ryan for him to send it to SGC and get it back within a month.
Yeah.
So stuff like that's going to really, it's shaping the hobby some ways. And for a long time, especially with us in the patch auto craze, like raw cards are still, still worth everything, especially the patch auto cards.
Patch autos, like grades help, but I will say a majority of the people love the fact that they're raw.
Yeah.
And they won't grade very well. Most of them won't.
Thick cards never grade well.
No. But having like a sealed flawless, the seal almost means as much as like having it in a PSA 9,
So let's talk about the hobby, and there's a lot of good in the hobby, and we've had a lot of great people on here. Aaron from Slab Stocks, and you can see the amount of money that he raises for charity. There's so many good people in the hobby that do great things, not just for other people in the hobby, for kids, charities, hospitals, et cetera, trying to make the world a better place. But then there are also people you need to watch out, and therefore I say scumbags in the hobby that you have to watch out for. Like, perfect example, I don't know if you saw at the Dallas Card Show this weekend, the guy who was trying to pass off 86 Fleer Jordans, which were fake, in the Mike, whatever they're called, the other grading company that if you get like
the NBA.
Whatever it's called, where you could get the diamond thing
the Mike Baker. Yeah.
And dude gets arrested and tased at the Dallas Card Show. Like,
so Alex brought that up. I didn't know it was actually real, but that's, oh my God. I will say there's a lot of good in the hobby, but this week alone in the hobby
has been terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
And, we were at the Nationals and wasn't too far away from the guy who tried to steal a bunch of cards from a bunch of people. We were over at Ryan's booth when they were confronting that guy stealing at the Nationals. Like,
yep.
Okay. So the second biggest thing to happen, at one point, it was the biggest thing in the sports card hobby being talked about happening. So there's a group on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, they got it all, called Backyard Breaks.
Yep.
So if you don't know what a breaker is,
God, this was so bad.
So let us explain kind of what a card breaker is. Let's say Neil has a box of cards whatever they may be. Neil's following, he tweets it out or whatever to get people to buy spots, whether it be by teams, by division, by however he wants to break it down. Could be random, and people get those selected cards.
Yep.
And then people pay for them. Neil opens them and then ships them out.
Yep.
So I believe in
they did a box break, didn't they, or like a 3-box break?
They did a super box break. So I saw they had like
a bunch of boxes.
It had like National Treasures. It had like the shoe box. It had a bunch of. Okay. It was $2,500 a spot.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the actual, because they were going to give this card away.
They were going to give away the box, and then they opened the box. They said we're going to give this box away to whoever was the biggest loser in the break.
Yes.
And then they opened up.
They're opening the box, and they're going through card, and then they hit a gold kaboom Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
So a gold kaboom is out of 10. Kaboom is really the hot card of the last probably year and a half.
I think one of them just went on golden. I think it sold at $38,000 for a PSA 9.
Okay. So this is obviously ungraded. So at a PSA 9, you could say the raw version could go anywhere between 15 to 25,000.
Yeah.
So 15 to 25,000. These guys hit it. Now let me explain these people in the first place. If you think YouTuber, TikTok star, whatever to do to get followers, this is what these guys look like. You have the one breaker guy who has a cutoff shirt. It's not like he's in shape anyway. He looks like one of the Island Boys, and the other guys trying to look like one of the Nelk guys with, wearing the jersey and the chains. And that's the one thing I do hate about this hobby is it's kind of getting taken over for the guys who do it for the followings or the followers. Like, I believe you and me and anybody who listens or watches us, we steer straight. We're not going to give you no lie. We're not going to feed you no bullshit about the hobby. We're going to tell you what we like, what we don't. We're not out to get followings and stuff like this.
No,
but
those people are bad for the hobby. The people who are coming in now who are just strictly about creating content for their own benefit, they're scumbags, they're donkeys, they don't need to be in the hobby.
Exactly. And all they're trying to do is they're looking out for themselves, trying to get their own piece of the pie, their own money in their pockets, and then it'll be they'll be like the shoe culture. They'll just bounce to the next thing.
Yep.
So these guys pulled the gold kaboom Trevor Lawrence, 25,000, and then they back out mid sentence of pulling it of, oh no, we can't give this card away. This card's we can't just give away a $25,000.
Yeah. No.
We can't give away a $25,000 card. And now, like, you're just backing out on your word of what you just said. So then they get into it kind of online. Oh, we'll donate the $20,000 to charity. That's the first thing you go to. Oh, we'll just donate money to charity. So
where's the receipts?
Where's the receipts? They go take a picture with a bunch of kids from the Boys and Girls Club. But here's the weird thing is the card was on eBay auctions that night for $25,000.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna give away 20,000 and then you're gonna say you're gonna put it up on eBay for 25?
Mm-hmm.
So you can profit $5,000? Mm-hmm. Or are you just gonna do? Here's the thing. So on eBay, they allow you to put like on a listing
for charity.
Benefits charity.
Yes.
Did it say that?
I would have to find it again. I saw the listing. It was either yesterday or the day before. I don't remember if it saw it, but I do know that it was off of another account that was not theirs and tied to a fake Twitch account, I believe.
Wow.
Because they were doing all this to either promote their TikTok or their Twitch or whatever they're on.
That's so shitty.
And so, so the moral of my story is if you're going to get, and I see, a lot of the top card guys comment on stuff like that. Like who would really want to give these guys, $2,500 of their own money to break cards for them. Like when I look for a breaker, I look for somebody who's reputable, who's fun to be around. Like perfect A1 example, Anthony Laparo. I think Anthony Laparo is one of the top breakers in sports cars. He's honest, he's quick, he's always down to give you information, talk to you one-on-one. He's not out looking for a following. The business that he does helps his following because of word of mouth, not by TikTok views or Instagram followers or crazy stuff that you do with cards. So if you're going to do breaks, make sure
I can't find it. I don't know if they took it down or what.
I'm sure they took it down because the card community found it. So I'm sure as soon as it got found and started posting all over Twitter, gone. Yep. So
it's so.
I know they came out with some apology videos and this and that, but it's like,
if you're going to apologize, give the card away.
And now the guy who I guess he's going to start trying to take legal action.
Yeah, the GPL 10 guy.
The guy who was originally supposed to get the card, I believe
I was listening to it. I don't think he was supposed to get it. I think he was the one who got like a couple of the boxes before, but then they said, we're going to give this away to the guy that was like who
did the
worst break.
Yeah.
So they never said who they're going to give it away to, but here's what they should have done. They should have randomized it.
Yeah.
Just randomize it, give it away. Because that's what you did.
So if it's not just, it's because you said it. If you said it as a breaker and well, because you and me broke for 6 months or so.
Yep.
So breaking is very, very hard, but everything hinges on the words that you say.
Yep. Your word is everything. Is your reputation.
Mm-hmm. Because there are too many scumbag breakers who, what's the name of the guy who was ripping and pulled a $15,000 card and said, "Oh, there's somebody at my door."
Yeah, there's somebody at his door. And then he ripped another box and then replaced it.
Yes. Yeah. So you got to watch out for, there are scumbags who are just out there looking to make a buck.
Yeah.
So do your research. Ask people in the hobby. People in the hobby will tell you the real thoughts and pros and cons on every single person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
find someone who's reputable that's been doing it a long time before 2020 boom.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's someone new that's still reputable, just make sure you're covering your butt.
Yeah.
Just
because trust me, I'm not
the guys who are all about trying to create content for themselves and drive their own hype.
If you're wearing a crop top trying to break, I'm not sending you $2,500. I don't care how many boxes of National Treasures are in there.
That's like you remember the pole wax thing a couple months back, where it was like they had like resealed the case and told everybody it was a sealed case. Yeah, they do some shiesty stuff where they had like a repack. Yes. I think they were a part of the repack who had like the $15 Tyler Hero Prism PSA 9.
Yep.
And it was like a $500 per person. It's like, don't put a $15 card in there.
That's ridiculous.
That's worse than opening a blaster.
So speaking of resealed, let's go to the next probably biggest thing that happened in the hobby this week.
I think more people saw this outside of the card community than inside the card community.
I think so too, because obviously Logan Paul has, a bazillion followers on everything. Yeah. But a couple weeks back, Logan Paul bought a case, a sealed case of first edition Pokemon cards from Shine 150. Shine's one of the biggest, sports card guys in the world. He's very reputable. He's
always good on his word.
100%.
His word is his everything. He says it all the time.
And Shine's the man. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you have to see his collection. Yeah. It's amazing. So yeah, so Shine acquired this box from Mealy Pops, correct?
Mealy Pops and then Card Kahuna, which was the other. He was the majority owner. Was Card Kahuna. Mealy Pops went in on it to basically get it authenticated.
So this this case has changed hands 4 times.
Three times.
and it was checked out by BBCE.
Yes.
Baseball card. What's it?
Baseball card exchange.
Baseball card exchange. So they authenticate to make sure that the box is right, the seals are right, the tape is correct, to make sure that this box has never been opened.
And they primarily do sports. They really don't dabble in
Pokemon
TCG stuff.
Yeah, especially So at this point, there were 11 first edition boxes in the world that they knew of that were still sealed.
I think it was the only one.
No, not cases, boxes.
Oh,
because
yes.
in that was the only case in the world that was still sealed that they knew of.
Yeah, I think Logan has 11.
Has 11.
That was including the sealed case. He had 5 of his own.
Okay. So, the Pokemon craze, the Charizard is like Logan said, if it BGS 10s, it's $1 million card easily. And you'd think in that many boxes of first edition Pokemon, you're going to find you some Charizard, plus everything else, the Venusaurs, the Bulbasaurs, the Blastoids, all that. So you have the case, they open it. So actually they posted it on social media, and the card community something doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So it comes back to Logan that, hey, the card community is kind of like, this doesn't look right. This is weird.
Sketch.
Let's go get it checked out. So they flew to Chicago. They went down to Miami. They got Shine, and they got it's not Pokemaster, but somebody else who's a Pokemon expert. That's all he does is authenticate Pokemon stuff. Got on a private plane, flew to Chicago.
Met up with Baseball Card Exchange, right?
Yep. To meet up with Baseball Card Exchange and authenticate it. They were going to crack the seal and open it and make sure that it was, because if you crack the seal, open it, and see if, it's good, the value of that goes from 3.5 million to who knows what. Because now you're saying there's only X amount of sealed boxes left in the world. So baseball.
Well, you could even reseal it. If they find out it's authentic, you could reseal it and just say, okay, this is truly a reseal or sealed case.
So baseball cards are looking at it and they say, it looks good to me. Then they open it and Shine's like, you can kind of see the look on his face, like something's not right, because one of the boxes kind of had like a poof in it. And then you hear Logan like, why does that box look like that? Why does that box look like that? And then they grab it and pick, because think about it. These guys know exactly what these first edition boxes.
Oh yeah, I mean Logan. I'm sure Logan spent plenty of time understanding what to look for in his boxes, so he knows what his boxes are supposed to look like
sealed, how they feel, the weight of them, etc., etc. So they open the box, they pull out one of the boxes, and you can tell that the weight's off. And Shine knows it right away. And, Shine's an expert. Logan, even though I'm sure he's done plenty of research, he's going to go off of Shine and the Pokemaster guy's word. They're like, well, there's only one thing to do is open it. So they cracked a seal, cut it open the box, and it's nothing but G.I. Joe cards.
That reminds me. So this weekend I was looking, or just scrolling through like Instagram and all these other posts, G.I. Joe boxes went through the roof.
They went up 61%.
Yeah, for G.I. Joe, just because Logan Paul opened G.I. Joe packs.
Yep.
There's nothing in G.I. Joe.
Absolutely not.
That's so stupid.
It is.
Oh
it is.
That's how dumb people are. They go and buy these stupid G.I. Joe packs because somebody found them in a Pokemon box and got duped.
Got duped for $3.5 million.
This is how you lose money, idiots.
Yeah.
Including $3.5 million.
But, as
Shine we were talking back.
So we were talking about scumbags earlier. Shine is, like we said, a man of his word.
Yeah, paid him 3.5.
Paid him $3.5 million back. And then I believe Mealy Pops is working. There's something with an escrow and stuff. Shine posted on.
Here's the thing. I don't think Mealy Pops. I think Mealy Pops went in on it because he got caught up in the moment, and I think he was in at like 500,000, which that's $500,000 you may not have right now.
Exactly.
Which I think is kind of dumb for a guy who owns a huge shop and has a huge national presence and even is on Slabstocks.
Yeah.
He did a weekly thing with Slabstocks. So like he's a prominent person in the community, and like you don't have $500,000 that you can just pay someone back, because that seems shady to me.
It does. And there's been a lot of talk over the last couple days about, the original holder of the case, and
the Kahuna guy,
and kind of how sketchy he seemed and this and that. And so it's a interesting situation that's unfolded, not just only for Logan Paul, but for the card community.
Terrible.
Especially with, Shine being one of the biggest names in the community.
Yeah, just be honest and be upfront with somebody. Like, don't try to hide things, because your word is your reputation, and don't be an idiot. Don't be a jackass. Just do the right thing.
Yeah,
it'll get you far in this place. If you really enjoy collecting, and you're not in it for all the stupid hoopla and money, it'll get you far. Just be honest. Be trustworthy. Simple.
It's the easiest thing to do in the hobby, but the thing that people don't do the most.
Sad. All right. Lighter note. NFL playoffs. Yesterday. Who played yesterday? The Bills? The Patriots?
The Bills smacked up the Patriots.
Oh, my God.
Patriots did not deserve to be on that field, it looked like. They didn't get off the bus, which, whatever. I'm cool with it.
They look bad. And then who played before that?
The Raiders.
Yeah, Bengals looked decent.
Bengals look good. The Raiders went full Raiders, as they should.
Yep.
Kind of glad to see the Bengals win. I think Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, good combination. Their defense lacks a little in the secondary. I got a terrible owner. But glad to see the Bengals win. The winner gets... It
depends on who wins this game.
Yes, it's the lowest seed goes to Tennessee.
Yep. Which at this point, it's a tie game, but I mean, do you trust Big Ben winning a game in the playoffs, or do you trust Patrick Mahomes?
No, we're like I saw on Instagram, great, the Steelers coming out and winning or getting into the playoffs. Now we got to see Big Ben throw, 5-yard milk jugs.
Yeah.
Instead of like Justin Herbert throwing piss missiles on 4th and 60. Because
Big Ben reminds me of when Peyton Manning played in 2015 and he was throwing 5-yard duck balls.
Yeah.
That's what he's throwing.
That's how you know that, it's over. It's over. But man, could you imagine what a great playoff would be if Justin Herbert and the Chargers made the playoffs?
It would have been better if they just would have said, we're going to tie. We're going to take a knee and tie.
Blame that on the head coach. If you don't call a timeout there, they're still out of field goal range. Mm-hmm. They don't have time to set up and give the ball to Josh Jacobs to run it up the middle for 10 yards, put him into field goal range. So you got to put that one on the head coach.
Well, here's the thing. Do you put it on the head coach, or did the head coach get a call down to his personal headset saying, hey, this is Roger Goodell. You better not let this game end in a tie, or I'll find a way to ruin your career.
Well, they had already said that, Mike Tomlin had said that there was a competition meeting and said that they weren't going to, if there was anything shown that they were making a tie, it wouldn't be allowed. But if it was like if it was a real competition tie, so not like saying, oh, we're just going to knee the ball for 4 quarters and just tie. So it's like betting on baseball. It's like Pete Rose.
Yeah, but it's not about. Here's the thing: they released. So this brings up a good point. They released for Clay's first game back, right? Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Draymond Green wasn't going to play in that game, but because Clay was going to play, they they announced that Draymond Green would be in for the first play of the game, so Clay could get the ball and go down or whatever, so they could do a tip off, and then Draymond Green would foul, and he would get taken out of the game because he wasn't going to play because he had an injured calf. So everybody who found that tweet ended up betting all the unders on Draymond Green and hit every single one of the unders on Draymond Green.
Wow.
And they ended up making a ton of money because of somebody who leaked that they were going to do this. So who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares?
Vegas cares.
Yeah, Goodell cares because they want the Steelers to play. That's what it was.
I mean, do you really want the Steelers to play? They're not that great of a football team this year. They're not fun to watch.
Could you not tell me there would be better ratings for a Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes 2-7 matchup on Sunday Night Football than Steelers and Chiefs?
Yeah. And then who says that? Could you imagine a Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow showdown in the playoffs?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Just
right.
Slang the rock around, man. Put 60 on both sides. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They love that. The NFL would go through the roof watching that, watching these young guys just sling a ball around.
I mean, it was a lot better than the Eagles-Buccaneers game. Like, the Eagles are dirty brown trash water and had no business. And here's the problem. I picked the Eagles to win because I thought their running game was going to be good. The Buccaneers were a little banged up. Here's the problem. Jalen Hurts didn't show up. Their wide receivers suck, and they still couldn't run the ball. They had like 15 yards in the first half. So
yeah,
why would I'm never, ever going to put my faith in the Eagles ever again.
Why would you even trust the Eagles?
Eagles fly right into the ground. That's what they did.
Hey, you know what they did? They Carson Wentz'd you. That's what they did.
They absolutely did. Well, that's exactly what that's exactly what we would have done in the playoffs in the first round anyway. So
I know.
Just get it over with in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And then today we also had the Niners try to give the game away about 9 times to the Cowboys.
So here's the thing. Is it Mike McCarthy's fault for the game?
I would say a couple play calling situations, yes, because that puts you in those situations at the end. Now,
or is it the fact that the Cowboys just did not show up for 3 quarters?
They did not show up for 3 quarters.
And I don't think that's Mike McCarthy's fault. I think that's a Cowboys problem.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It just seemed like, midway through the fourth, Dak was just trying to do it all, put it all on his shoulders. Zeke was a non-factor.
Yeah.
They were both sides were getting injured left and right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Really tough game. I don't like the 49ers, especially Deebo Samuel is a wide receiver, not a running back. I understand you want to have Deebo do it all because he's a good football player. But think about the players that have done that and how short their careers end up. Cordell Stewart, Antoine Randall, guys who try to play multiple positions because...
Hey, Antoine's got a Super Bowl, though.
So what?
Isn't that what you play for? You play it your entire career to try and win one freaking Super Bowl.
You try. Some guys don't even make it to the playoffs.
And then there's Tom Brady with 7.
Yeah, and then there's Tom Brady with 7. Or there's Dan Marino with 0.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So,
I'm gonna be honest. I thought so. Last week the Rams blew a 17-point lead. First time Sean McVay has ever lost a game leading at halftime. Loses to the 49ers. Somehow the Cardinals collapse against Seattle at home. They suck. The Cardinals suck. I like the Rams' chances tomorrow night, but the point I'm trying to say is like San Francisco is a good football team. They got a lot of talent. It's just, can they put it all together? And I didn't want to go up and play Green Bay. So if Dallas won and the Rams won, the Rams have to go play Green Bay. I don't want to go play Green Bay.
No, I don't want to go play.
So I think San Francisco's got a really good shot. I don't know. I think they do. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Tampa Tom's having another home game.
Yep. It's very hard to, until somebody beats them. They're still the favorites. Trying to look around, see if there's anything else fun going on.
NBA. Kevin Durant out 4 to 6 weeks with the sprained MCL last night.
Oh, how about? I also saw. Was it yesterday?
Russell Westbrook still can't shoot the ball.
Can't shoot the ball. Luka became the youngest ever NBA player to record 40 career triple doubles. One of 11 players in NBA history to score 40 triple doubles.
Okay, so here's the thing, and Luka is a great player, but do you think a little bit of how Luka is viewed is partly because he is a white person playing in a predominantly black superior sport, and so people flock, at least in the card community, people flock to Luka because they see him as a role model to have the potential to be an NBA player.
I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because
I think it's stupid, but I think it's racist.
I don't think so, because I don't consider, even though his skin color's white, if I'm saying I'm white, Luka's European. I don't consider him white. If it was Jason Williams, if it was white chocolate, he gave a lot of white people some NBA dreams.
Yeah.
But because Jason Williams is American. Luka being,
I think people view Luka like that though.
I don't. They
do. He's not. He is fat, and he is not. If you look at Luka as an athletic person, he is not athletic like LeBron, like Kevin Durant, like Steph Curry.
But he's not
athletic.
He's only been in the league, what, 5 years?
Since 2018, fourth year.
So I can't say that he's not like LeBron or KD yet. Like, give the guy some time to figure out what it's like to be a veteran.
Hold on. Let me ask this question. Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, who has the better career?
Career, so are we saying long-term to the end of their careers?
Yes.
I would say Luka.
Okay. Who right now is a better player?
Ja.
Who right now is more athletic?
Ja.
Who long term will be more athletic?
Oh, Ja.
Okay. Who right now is a better shooter?
Ja Morant.
Who right now is a better dunker?
Ja Morant. I don't think I've ever seen Luka dunk.
Who right now is a more efficient basketball player and a better playmaker?
Ja Morant.
Okay. Why does Luka gonna have a better career? Because it's just superior talent.
Yeah, but he's also proved it. Not proved it, but he's put the points on the table where Ja's, coming off an injury-plagued season and, had the COVID year. Like, let's let the guy get into something real first. Like, everyone also said that RJ Barrett was going to be a great person, and you got Cam Reddish cards jumping 4,000% just because he got traded. Like, let's pump the brakes that everybody's going to be the next Reggie Miller or Rick Smits or Jalen Rose.
Luka Doncic, Trae Young. Who is more successful in their career right now?
I would say Luka.
Really?
What's Trae done that's more successful?
He went to a conference finals last year.
So you're going to judge it off of just team statistics?
No. Look at his stats in the playoffs. Like, yes, okay, Luka may have had better stats, but Trae put his teams in positions to win.
Does Trae have a better team around him compared to Luka?
I think he has better coaching. I think he has a better team, but
name me somebody else on the Mavs that's worth a shit.
If Kristaps is healthy,
they're on Porzingis in there. Okay.
If he's healthy, but that's the problem. The guy never.
Why don't we just?
I think Luka is overhyped. I think he's way overhyped.
Why don't we just trade Zion to the Mavs and just let's see what happens? So you get your fat chocolate boy, and then you get your white European dude, and now you got Porzingis, the skyscraper. That's an all-star team right there.
I mean, you could try.
You could. We bring back Muggsy Bogues too, see if he's
still. But I mean, I've heard there's good food in Dallas, and I don't trust Zion to keep that weight down.
Man. So are we saying right now Zion is the biggest bust in NBA history?
He made one all-star game. He was an all-star. That's something Greg Oden never did. So I can't say, yes, he's a bust. But
true.
If he doesn't get his weight under control, he is about to be.
Very true.
I just want to say, okay, so back to the Luka thing.
Uh-huh.
It's like Luka is good. He's smooth. He's a great player, but like long term, I'm just like, I just don't see. I don't see him being like, he needs more pieces around him, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Maybe it's too young. Maybe he's too young for me to say. But I think Ja Morant right now, the team that they're playing, what they do, like the way Ja carries that team, Ja Morant is got a better future than Luka right now. And I just don't see why Luka is so high.
I think it's hard. I think basketball is really hard to tell, mainly because of it really, you have so many games, but you really need a good starting team. You need a good bench roster around you to support. Where in the NFL, one good player can really, help take over. And you could say that for basketball too. I mean, LeBron's taken over just about every team that he played for. I don't know. I just don't know how many years you should really give a player. In the NFL, it should be 3. Like, if you suck by the end of your 3rd year, I mean, that's why the average NFL years in the league is like 2.
Makes me think why Carson Wentz still has a job.
Because he had an injury year. So technically that one counts.
I mean, he would have been MVP if he would have stayed healthy.
Speaking of injury, and I think I saw Squints put this up. Is Mike Trout overrated?
Yes.
Has only played 135 games once in the last 5 years?
Something like that. So I think the first 10 years of his career are like better than anyone. But you got to finish. Like Albert Pujols he's there.
Yeah.
Like Albert Pujols is going to get 700 home runs potentially.
Yeah.
Mike Trout, I don't think he gets there. I don't think he. I talked to Squints about this too. I talked to Justin about this. I said, looking back on it, you look 20, 30 years from now, who is our generation's Mickey Mantle?
Mm-hmm.
And I said Derek Jeter or Ken Griffey Jr. I think you can agree with that, right?
Absolutely.
I think those guys are looked at much in higher regard than Mike Trout, and and those guys have a much, much better postseason career and have accolades and of success at a far better rate than Mike Trout.
But if you think of great players and you were a 90s, early 2000s kid, you have to say Jeter or Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, agreed. And what's going to suck is like all those people who are holding Mike Trout for the long term, like Mike Trout is probably going to just end up being Dan Marino. All the passing records, all the hitting records, all the fielding, everything Mike Trout is, he's Dan Marino.
Interesting play. Yeah. It's a good way.
Because if he never does anything, who cares about? If you've never done anything in the playoffs, who cares what you've done?
If you've never won, people only remember the championships.
Yeah.
It's an interesting play.
I mean, that's why people who say, like, okay, Phillip Rivers. Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Fame guy?
No.
Is he a Hall of Fame guy if he has a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Do you see? That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. And I think Mike Trout is in that same boat. And Mike Trout just needs to win a freaking playoff series, let alone a World Series. I feel bad for the guy.
I do. Yeah. I agree with you. And it's tough. Yeah. It's tough. Like, speaking of Hall of Fame, like the NFL Hall of Fame's coming up. Don't really like that. It's not a class yet, but the finalists are kind of like,
Who's in there?
So from the modern players,
yeah.
So the modern players are. So okay, I'll give them to you, and I want you to tell me first thought. If you have to think about it, it's a no.
If they're Hall of Fame or not?
If they're a Hall of Fame or not. That should be the criteria. I'll take that from Skip Bayless. He says, if I have to think, it's got to be a no. So our modern players, NFL modern Hall of Fame. Okay, so your finalists are Jared Allen, defensive end.
Okay. No.
Willie Anderson, offensive tackle.
I don't really remember him. Who did he play for?
He played for Cincinnati from 96 to 07, and then the Ravens in 08.
No.
Rondé Barber.
Yes.
Not
a first ballot guy.
Hall of Famer, but not first ballot. I would agree with that. I think he needs to wait. I don't know if you'll remember this one, but Tony Bonselli, offensive tackle.
You're gonna know that guy more than me.
Leroy Butler.
I would have to. Who do you play for?
90 to 2001, the Packers. Who's safety?
I don't know. I don't remember him.
Devin Hester.
Yes. Without a doubt. Greatest returner of all time.
Between him and Dante Hall was the first one to kind of make returning like special again, and then Devin Hester took it to another level.
Devin Hester is the greatest returner of all time. There'll never be anybody as good, ever.
Torrey Holt.
Yes. Bias, but yes.
Andre Johnson.
No.
I would agree. I don't believe.
Great career. Fantastic guy. Fantastic career. But no.
If he does, he should wait a while.
Yeah. I think Andre Johnson is like
he's like Calvin Johnson, but not as great of a career.
Yeah, I would say Andre Johnson is kind of like a Anquan Bolden.
Oh, yeah.
Great career, but I don't know if I would consider him. Mm-hmm. I think Anquan gets in just because he's got a Super Bowl.
I keep forgetting that Andre played for the Colts for that one crappy year. Him and Frank Gore were on the team.
Yep.
Sam Mills, linebacker. I doubt you'll remember Sam Mills.
I don't remember.
Really undersized linebacker. Played for the Saints from 86 to 94 and then played for the Panthers from 95 to 97. I think he's got a statue outside of Carolina Stadium.
No.
I believe he had cancer or something too. Richard Seymour.
Yes.
Zach Thomas.
100%.
I agree with Zach Thomas.
He was a freaking anchor. Yeah. I had a Zach Thomas jersey as a kid.
I remember that.
I do. It was, Zach Thomas. Big fan.
DeMarcus Ware.
Yes.
Reggie Wayne.
Yes.
Patrick Willis.
Yes. And I think a lot of people would consider him borderline, but man, Patrick Willis was a monster.
Patrick Willis is, to me, and it's easy for me to say, I think he retired too young.
I think he did. It might hurt him, and that might be the reason why he doesn't get in. But I think if he would have played a few more years, unquestionable.
I think it was one. No doubt, he was a game changer on defense. Like you hated playing against Patrick Willis.
If you feared Ray Lewis in the AFC, you feared Patrick Willis in the NFC.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then last one on is Bryant Young, defensive tackle / end for the Niners from 94 to 2007.
I don't know the guy.
I would say no.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was let's see. Let me go through some of the semifinalists, some of the guys that didn't make it, to see if
they might go next year or something.
Maybe. So Eric Allen.
I don't know.
Cornerback Eric Allen from the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, okay. I would say no.
Anquan Bolden.
I think he gets in only because he has a Super Bowl. But do I think he?
But does he wait another year?
Yeah, I don't think he's first. Yeah, I think.
No, this would be a second. I believe this would be a second year.
Yeah, something like that.
So next year will be year number 3. Eddie George.
Well, see, I'm thinking about it.
I would say no because they never won. He played for a semi-good.
They lost Super Bowl to the Rams.
Lost Super Bowl to the Rams.
The Rams. I'm telling you, Super Bowls mean a lot. Super Bowls mean a lot.
Better college running back than NFL running back.
Yes.
Robert Mathis.
Yes.
Biased. He leads the NFL all time in strip sacks. Sam. Steve Smith Sr.
Yes, 100%.
I'm surprised he didn't make the finals.
Steve Smith is probably one of the most underrated receivers of all time.
Agreed. Guy I don't know if you'll know, but I do know, Steve Tasker. Kickoff. So Steve Tasker was a wide receiver, little undersized wide receiver, played for the Bills back in the 90s when they went to all the Super Bowls, but was primarily on the kickoff teams and all the special teams and just run down there and make tackles. He's the one that made special teams players, like if you wanted to make a roster, you wanted to be like Steve Tasker because all he did was sprint down the field to tackle.
He's like the modern day Matthew Slater for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Got it.
Fred Taylor. I
love Fred Taylor, but no.
I love Fred Taylor too. I would say no. He's one of those fringe players because he was a good running back, but he had a terrible team around him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Steve Smith played on bad teams, but Steve Smith was just so much better than everybody.
Yes. Hines Ward.
He's not in the Hall of Fame?
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
I feel like a dirty guy like that, where he just does the dirty plays. He got 2 Super Bowls? I feel like he should be in.
Running back Ricky Waters.
No.
I agree. Defensive tackle Big Vince Wilfork.
100%, dude.
Oh, yeah. Big 100%. Vince should make it.
Vince, 100%.
And then safety Darren Woodson.
No.
So those are the semifinalists from this year's class. Or some of the semifinalists from this year's class.
Steve Smith is not a finalist.
It kind of blows my mind also.
Can you let's pull up Steve Smith's stats all time.
Please do.
What?
Okay, so here's like the first year eligible guys.
Next year?
No, this year. So not all of them obviously made it in. So first year, Anquan Bolden this is his first year eligible.
Okay.
Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, and Steve Smith. This is Steve Smith's first year.
Oh, also, really?
So he didn't make it in. Offensive lineman, Jake Long, former first overall pick to the Dolphins from the University.
He's eligible this year?
He's eligible this year. Jake Long, I thought
he should be in.
He was a great left tackle. Nick Mangold.
100% he should be in.
Nick Mangold, I believe, should make it in someday. Defensive backs, Antonio Cromartie. If he should just make it in just for having 17 kids or how many.
He's a legend in making babies world.
First year for Mathis and Vince. DeMarcus Ware's first year. Quarterbacks. So additional nominees. Guys who didn't make it. Randall Cunningham.
No.
Jake the Snake Delhomme.
No.
Boomer Esiason.
I don't know much about his career.
Trash. Don't worry. Jeff
Joe
Garcia.
Joe Burrow has a better career than Boomer Esiason already.
Jeff Garcia.
I will say no. Even though he's put together some great seasons.
Donovan McNabb.
No.
Went to
great
4
quarterback.
straight.
He's like a Phillip Rivers. Great quarterback, did a lot of stuff, but no.
Steve McNair.
No. As sad as it is in that situation that it ended, no, he is not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay, running backs. Sean Alexander.
My question is, how is this guy not a nominee? Sean was a bowling ball.
So I'm going to go through these running backs, and you're going to be like, it's tough. I mean, you think about it, there's only, I think, 8 enshrinees every year. Mike Allstott.
No.
Won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he was a fullback mostly.
Changed the game as a fullback.
They don't have fullbacks anymore.
Tiki Barber.
No.
Ernest Biner.
No.
Corey Dillon.
No.
Priest Holmes.
No. Sean Alexander was better than Priest Holmes.
Steven Jackson.
100% bias.
No, you're biased. Steven Jackson does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so Steven Jackson, no, he should not be in the Hall of Fame. But he is one of the. He had a prime. Okay, so Priest Holmes, Sean Alexander, Steven Jackson, they all had prime seasons, 2-3 years where they just look
amazing.
Yeah, kind of like Chris Johnson, CJ2K.
But they were
a couple years.
They were given the ball too much, and that hurt their career.
Yeah,
they were asked to carry the ball 50 times a game.
Yep, it did.
Let's see, Lorenzo Neal.
No. Ooh, no. Lorenzo is a better fullback than Mike Allstott. Lorenzo lasted a long time.
He did last a long time.
Mike Allstott ran the ball really well, but Lorenzo Neal was the reason why teams won.
Herschel Walker.
No, better college player than he was.
Agreed. Brian Westbrook.
No.
Wide receivers, Troy Brown.
Troy Brown, he was on the early New England teams.
Early Patriots teams, yes.
No.
Donald Driver.
I bet he's going to, when I look at his stats, they're going to surprise me, but I'm going to say no.
Joe Horn.
No.
He's only remembered for the cell phone.
Yep.
Interesting one here. Ocho Cinco.
He reminds me of T.O.
But T.O. got in.
Yeah, I know. I think T.O. and I think T.O. is better than Ocho, but Ocho is right there, and I think
Ocho deserves to get in the Hall of Fame because it was his priority to make the NFL fun again. Innovators.
Yeah.
That's what the NFL looks for, is innovators.
Yeah.
Derek Mason.
No.
Musa Muhammad.
No.
Andre Rison.
Okay, so get this. Maybe Steve Smith isn't a Hall of Famer.
Really?
Only 2 All-Pros.
Okay.
5-time Pro Bowler.
Uh-huh.
He played 17 seasons, or 16 seasons. He only averaged 67 yards a season.
Ooh.
Or 67 yards a game.
67 yards a game.
So he's a sub 1,000-yard guy.
Interesting. But
he played a long time though.
If I'm not looking at stats, if I just in my mind, is he a Hall of Famer, yes or no?
Yeah. I mean, to me, yes. He is.
There was no scarier little man on the field because Steve Smith would fight you.
5'9", and so like Steve Smith is like Antonio Brown if Steve Smith focused more on playing football rather than talking trash.
Yeah. Yep.
Like him and Antonio, probably the same kind of route running skills, catching skills, catch radius, playmaking ability. It's just Antonio Brown worked at his craft better.
So let's see. Let's keep
and
going.
had a better quarterback.
Yeah. Jimmy Smith.
No.
Rod Smith.
No.
Wes Welker.
No.
Interesting. Tight ends. Dallas Clark.
Yes.
Ben Coates.
No.
Heath Miller.
No.
Wesley Walls.
No.
Okay, let's pick out some offensive linemen. DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Yes.
Just for the name.
Yes.
Former first-round pick for the Jets out of the University of Virginia. Logan Mankins.
Yes.
Jeff Saturday.
100%.
Defensive line, John Abraham.
No.
Leroy,
great player. Great player.
Yeah, great player, but not a Hall of Famer. Leroy Glover.
No.
Leslie O'Neal.
No.
Simeon Rice.
No.
Justin Tuck.
Yes.
Do you think Justin Tuck's a Super Bowl or
two-time Super Bowl champion? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he didn't he put up like a 21 sack season or a 22 sack season?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I do remember that Bob, the equipment guy at the Raiders, sent me a Justin Tuck game-worn Raiders jersey, and I no longer have it. Yeah, I no longer have it, but it was cool to have at the time.
Let's look this up. Justin Tuck.
Justin Tuck. Hall of Famer or not? Yeah. Hall of Famer or not?
Justin Tuck. I mean, to me, Justin Tuck, yes, Hall of Famer. I would like to see his stats, though. Maybe not. Ooh. He's only 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro.
Okay.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowls matter.
Most sacks he's ever had in a season was 12.
Ooh. Interesting.
Which is not impressive.
It's no. All right, let's go to some linebackers that
he only started like 60% of his games.
Okay. So no on the Hall of Fame there.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. Great player, no.
Okay, linebackers that weren't mentioned in the finalists or semis. Cornelius Bennett.
No.
Lance Briggs. Is a good linebacker.
Great linebacker, but I'm going to say no.
Terrible team.
Yes.
Teddy Bruschi.
I love Bruschi. I don't know.
London.
Here's the thing. I hated Teddy Bruschi.
Oh, everybody hated Teddy Bruschi. I hate Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're biased, but
I know.
I hated Teddy Bruschi.
London Fletcher.
London Fletcher is a better linebacker than Teddy Bruschi.
Willie McGinnis.
100%.
So where was I? I was at the combine and walked past Willie McGinnis, largest human being I've ever seen ever of all time. Like, he is massive,
straight up monster. How big is he?
He's
6'6".
Got to be 6'6", and still to this day, I would say 240, 250. Just shredded.
Yeah, he's still. Like, I think even watching some of like Man in the Arena, he's still
he's a crazy
massive
big
guy.
person. Another big person, the biggest neck I've ever seen. Takeo Spikes.
I do remember Takeo. No, he's not a Hall of Famer. Great linebacker, not a Hall of Famer.
Agreed. Defensive backs. We've talked Eric Allen and Rondé Barber. How about Dre Bly?
No.
Agreed. Nick Collins, Rodney Harrison.
He probably put together an NFL worthy career.
I would say if Brian Dawkins made the NFL
or a Hall of Fame career.
If Brian Dawkins made the Hall of Fame, I think Rodney Harrison should make the Hall of Fame.
100%. I think, yeah, agreed.
Asante Samuel.
Yes. I had an Asante Samuel jersey as a kid. Hated him because he was so good. But he was good.
How about Bob Sanders?
No.
Injuries hurt him. Yep. He would have been if he would have stayed healthy. He would have been.
Yes, correct.
Injuries. Charles Peanut Tillman.
Yes, the Peanut Punch.
The Peanut Punch. Troy Vincent.
No.
Punters and kickers. Gary Anderson.
Who was isn't Gary the one who was in for like 22 years or something?
That was Morton.
Morton Anderson. Gary,
Kicked at Ben Davis.
Yes, Morton did.
Jeff Fiegels, punter.
No.
John Casey, kicker.
He's probably close, but I say no.
Sean Lindetta, punter.
No.
Ryan Longwell, kicker.
No.
Matt Turk, punter.
No.
Okay, special teams. And we'll finish it up from here. Josh Cribbs.
No.
Mel Gray.
No.
And Brian Mitchell.
No.
So, I mean, that's a good, honest way to do it. Like, if you want to have fun with, your friends, your sports friends, if you want to have a Hall of Fame discussion, think of some old players, you got to say yes or no right away. If you have to think about it, like, not a Hall of Famer.
John Morant, Luka Doncic, Hall of Famer.
I don't watch basketball, so I couldn't tell you. I don't keep up with basketball. But football, I could tell you very quickly. Very, very quickly. So, I don't know. Is there anything else we want to touch on tonight?
I think we pretty much hit everything.
Is there anything?
Let's do this. And right now, who's your Super Bowl picks? I know playoffs have already happened.
Tampa Bay and Buffalo.
Really?
Yes. Buffalo's the team to beat, I think.
Huh?
I think Buffalo is the team to beat. So if you have your Josh Allen cards, get ready, boys.
I'm going to say Titans.
Ooh.
And I'll just stick with my bias here. Titans, Rams. Rams of the Titans. Rematch Super Bowl. Was it 34?
Yeah.
Because we lost 36 to the Pats, didn't we?
Yes.
That was 2 years later. So 34.
Yeah. 34.
Rematch of what was it, Derek Mason?
Derek Mason reaching the ball out?
Yeah.
Got tackled by linebacker Mike Jones.
That's right.
We'll finish off with did you buy anything fun besides your Tom Brady card? Have you picked up anything fun?
Did I show you all the custom cards I made?
Yes. I saw them on Instagram.
All the ones I sent you?
Like the LeBron one. I don't know if I saw them all.
Yeah,
saw block. That one. Yep, saw the LeBron block.
And then Aaron Donald custom.
Saw that one. Yep, saw that one.
The LeBron Lakers.
Did not see that one. That's a nice card.
Yeah. Tiger Woods, red PMG.
I did see that one. That was nice.
That's sick. I have 2 of them. Aaron Donald gold. I thought this one was pretty sick.
Ooh, that's pretty nice.
Michael Scott blue.
I saw that. That was pretty funny.
No, the only other pickups I have are the Randy and then this other Steven Jackson out of 5.
Awesome.
You saw that with the game worn from the logo, NFL Rams logo.
I think a couple ones that I picked up, I think people have seen that Dan Marino, the Randy Moss. I got another Pulisic, just ready for World Cup, Equalizers, PSA 10. I texted you this. There's Patrick Willis.
That's sick.
Black Chrome, PSA 10. That's why I think, if Patrick Willis goes into the Hall of Fame, I think this card is super undervalued right now. It is pop 28 on 10s. And you could get it for $200. This thing should probably, if he goes in the Hall of Fame, it's 400 plus. Has to be.
I think you see a decent bump there. Not sure what it goes for, but.
And then another, I think, good quick deal I got was Bo Jackson, super rookie, or top super rookie, Bo Jackson. It's an 8. The grades on it, centering 9, edges 9. corners 8.5, but it says a surface is a 7, and I was trying to see if there was any dings or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, old Topps cards, as long as the centering is good, that's what you're kind of looking for. So,
I need to buy some baseball and some soccer. I need to stop saying I'm going to buy it and actually just start buying some digital.
That's what I did,
I got a little money set aside.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think I'm moving any of my LeBron cards.
So who are you thinking, like, baseball wise, you're going to put your money into?
So I was looking, like I was measuring like statistical, like the difference between their peaks and their just normal values right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to bisect the like the market peak and say, okay, if this guy can go up 50% of the market peak and not hit the actual peak, because I don't think we'll ever get there.
Yeah.
If I can get 50% of the market peak, what's my profit margin look like? And there's some guys like that I think really have that potential. I think the ones where Tatis, I think, does, Juan Soto, Acuna, I think, is a good one. It's just trying to figure out which card to buy.
Exactly.
And
There's a lot.
There is a lot. And I'm trying to figure out, do I just want to stick with, something that's, and this is kind of what gets me with baseball. Baseball goes up and down and has great market fluctuations, and people buy baseball a lot, but baseball has a lot of pop. Like, there's like 3 different variations of Acuna's rookie, and they all have a pop of like 5,000.
There's bat up, there's bat back, there's bat through,
But the good thing about that is, with a high pop card like that, if it goes up, it's easily be able to sell because people will sell it. Like there's a ton out there. It's good to judge market value. You always have a comp to go off of. So if it goes up, it goes up. It's easy to sell. So, and then soccer wise, I mean, I'm probably going to stick with some Mbappe, Ronaldo, and
the big names, Messi.
Yeah. Stick with big names, or like maybe go with like a Kevin De Bruyne, because Belgium's pretty good and he plays for Man City. Stick with some guys who have good potential on the World Cup stage, but also in Champions League.
Yeah, definitely hitting up Josh for anything I need soccer wise.
Yeah, I think he's right though. I think if the USA, like, people love Team USA, so I think if they do anything, I think it's just who you buy.
Oh, I was looking through some of my not throwaway cards, but cards that are like laying around. Found this bad boy. Like, kind of need to send Bobby Witt Jr. Bowman Chrome to go get graded.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. SGC,
that's where she'll be going. It'll be along.
I don't think I have Bowman Chrome, but I think I have the Bowman paper.
It will also go along with this, just for fun.
What is that?
Rod Smart. Who is Rod Smart? What league did Rod Smart play in before he got to the NFL?
CFL.
No, biggest name in another league.
And
not because of his play.
Oh, I don't know. XFL?
Yes. Who was he?
Was he the guy who, like, when they did the football rollout thing,
that got hurt on the very, very first one?
Yes.
No, it is not. But he had the biggest name in the XFL because of the name that was on the back of his jersey.
What was it?
He Hate Me.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. That's so dumb.
Played in the Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. So, not a Hall of Famer. Didn't win one.
Definitely not a Hall of Famer.
Oh, that's funny.
I think people have wasted another good hour and a half of listening to us.
Yep.
So again, want to thank our sponsors once your final time. Slab Savers, protectyourslabs.com, Graded Card Solutions, go to gradedship.com. Prospect Cards, www.prospect.cards, Nation Golf. Remember, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, on Spotify. They will always upload the day after we've filmed. So actually, this week until the next podcast, and we'll put something together. Here's a giveaway for everybody. I got a giveaway. We'll figure out how to give this away. And we will actually give this away, unlike Backyard Breakers. This is a 2016 Art of Football Series 1. Gino Marcelletta, 46 out of 50. Gem Mint 10 auto. Now, this sucker's huge. It's like an 8x10. But out of 50, it's PSA DNA'd on the back. It's really hard to see.
Caleb.
Yes.
Throw that away.
Why?
Nobody wants that.
It's a Hall of Famer. It's a PSA 10.
I might have something.
Well, I also have a Raymond Berry out of 46.
Yeah.
And then a Lenny Moore out of 35.
Oh my God. I might have something. I got my Randy Moss flawless patch auto. I will just go ahead and say this on. I will just go ahead and say this. I have it. It's a game used patch auto Randy Moss from 2000 and something. I'll throw that in the giveaway.
Tucker Barnhart base card. Detroit Tigers. Yeah, I know.
I'll do that.
Oh,
Randy Moss giveaway. I will. I'll send a picture of it tomorrow, and I'll get it out of the bank. We'll do it. We'll run a giveaway over the next 2 weeks, and then we'll do it. A couple weeks, we'll give it away. Random followers.
Cool. So be on the lookout for that. Remember to follow us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/the Dream 3 podcast. Our Instagrams right here, Showtime Sports Cards and Doughboy Sports Cards 1. Remember, follow us on Spotify, on Google Podcast, on Apple Podcast. Ask us questions. Show up. Tune in. Yep. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.